fellow recording artists. What's up? It's your man Malcolm. Yes, indeed, we're gonna make some rap vocals the pro way. This is the ultimate way to mix your vocals on Logic Pro X in 2021. Let's get to this. Now, why I'm saying this is the ultimate way? This is the ultimate way because first of all, man, this is going to be super easy and thus fun to do. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do the whole thing if this thing works. I'm using my beautiful phone. It's a cheap phone, but it does its job. Now, this vocal mix is something that I shared yesterday with my Patreons, with the growing family of Patreons. Now, this is what the vocal sounds without any plugins on.
2,000 years later.
Love it when they tryna stick me from my papers. Can find better ways to burn all these fucking papers. And when we apply all the plugins on it. Look, give them all the big, cause you know I'm not worth this shit. Place me close like butter place toes. That's how it goes when you bang like you suppose. Alright, man, before we get to the vocal chain, I just want to remind you, man, that it's really important that you understand that it doesn't fucking matter your recording environment. You know, we can take care of that with the plugins and with techniques, especially if you're using like somebody that does the job for you. We can take care of your being quiet, so don't worry about shouting, yelling at the mic. What really matters is that you mean what you say. Mean what you say. So this is what I did on this track. Now, besides meaning what I said, I knew that I had some noise in the background that I needed to take care of. So to do that, all I did, I put some noise gate and use the default setting with the minus 40 dB threshold. Love it when they tryna stick me from my papers. Can find better ways to burn all these fucking papers. So between words, I'm taking care of that space. Now, this really depends on your vocal and how you rapping. If you're rapping fast, if you're rapping slow, if you're singing or whatever. But this is what you would actually do. Okay, so on top of that, we needed to take care of some EQiness. To do that, we cut some bad frequencies, we boost something, we remove bad frequencies, and this is my channel EQ for this vocals. This is what it sounds without. Love it when they tryna stick me from my papers. Can find better ways to burn all these fucking papers. Pray for mercy, pray for mercy. Look, give them all the because you know I'm not worth this. Alright, so that's the vocal chain. Now, this changes all the time. Every vocal comes different, bad frequencies come different. So it's really important that you understand how you would do channel EQ. If you want to apply this to your vocal, I will personally say, first of all, fuck with the bad frequencies and the good frequencies, meaning that you need to find one bad frequency. I found at 540, and good frequencies, meaning something you kind of like. You know, it's like it's very subtle. Once someone said that when it comes to vocal mixing, it really your body, your emotion, the best guide. So let your body, let your emotions, forget about this most beautiful organ that you have. Because when it comes to mixing, you need to find you need to use the weak part of yourself, which is the body and the emotions, to guide you to what it sounds good. Because it's mysterious. You don't know why it sounds good, but because your body tells you, just let your body be right. And but you will hear bad frequencies somewhere around here, and good frequencies around these two spaces in the mix, in the spectrum. Obviously the low end, it's really up to you. If you want your vocal to be muddy, you can just roll less of it. If you want to be really clean and clear and kind of robotic, you can take a lot more out. This is just the air that you want to give to your vocal, and this is my preset. On top of it, we got some compression. Okay, now before we get to the compression and what he's doing, this is completely different from this vocal mix that we had last week, because I'm actually using the limiter from the compression. I'm doing something crazy with this one, so I wanted to show you. So excited to show you. Before we get to this, I wanna have you to listen it without. Love it when they tryna stick me from my fucking papers. I'm pray for mercy. Pray for mercy.
Just
look,
one
give them all the
track to
because you know
get
I'm not
fucked
worth
with,
this shit. Place me close like
because
bottom
I'm using
place.
the limiter part of it. So before I show you how to use this and how to kind of mess with it according to your vocals, I just wanted to remind you that if you want me to mix your vocals for you, we can work with together, and you can check out the link in the description, and it'll basically tell you, how I'm going to make this work for you and everything in between. But obviously, if you want this vocal mix, and you can just make up your mind to join, to show some love to your homie, join the Patreon community, and you will get access to a lot of benefits. One of it being that you show some love to your homie, and one of them also is you get my vocal mixing, this particular vocal mixing preset to download, and all my presets I share weekly. So yeah, you can do that too. The way I'm using the compression is pretty easy. So all I'm doing, I'm using a threshold to 3.21. Then I got some makeup to 0. Why I do have some makeup to 0? Because I'm using the limiter to get the the volume back on top. And I'm using I'm not using actually auto gain off. So I'm letting the plugin do the work. Meaning I'm letting the plugin find all the volume that I'm taking out. Very, very important. I'm using a kind of slow attack and a kind of medium release, a 15 to 15 the attack, 51 the release. I'm leaving it at 0.7. I'm using all the outputs, and then with the threshold, all I'm doing, I'm taking the limiter. All I'm doing, I'm taking the limiter on and using the threshold to -5 just to get as much volume out that I wanted, because I'm letting the plugin get the volume back up. I just wanted to limit that using the limiter feature in the compression. That's all I'm doing. And mind that I'm taking
when they tryna
about
speak
-5
papers. Can find better ways
the
to
reduction
burn
is
all these fucking
-5. So
papers.
my
I'm pray for
threshold at
mercy.
-33 is just so that I can get that amount of compression happening. This is compression all in all, just one compression using the limiter and letting the plugin get the volume back up. I'm taking all the volume that I need in the mix. So this is my compression. Next up, we have some de-essing, because now we have the compression doing the main work, getting the volume back up, all leveled out. I just need to make sure that all my S's are taken out. For that, I'm using the female vocal wide band de-esser preset with a threshold at -22.
I love it when they tryna speak for my papers. Can
right
find
now.
better ways to burn
The range
all
I'm
these
using the
fucking
wider,
papers. I'm
and
pray
the
for
filter I'm
mercy.
using the first
Pray
on
for
the left.
mercy.
This is what
Look,
it's
give
doing.
them all the because I'm not worth this shit. Place me close like butter place toast.
Can you see the S? It plays toast. So the S, I'm trying to cut all the S's that are really not supposed to be there. I don't know why. When I got into vocal mixing, I was like, what's wrong with S's? But apparently too many S's just don't sound good to the ears. Go figure that. On top of that, I got pitch correction and some buses. So before we get to the buses, I just wanted to say that this is the ultimate way to mix vocals on Logic Pro X, because first, we're taking the noise out. Most guys on YouTube, they show you how to mix vocals. They forget about that. They really don't take that into account as they supposed to. Just throwing pitch correction as first plugin or whatever. That's not how you do it. Although, my free vocals, sometimes I do it because I don't spend so much time on it and I just want to get the vocal that sounds good. But you want to take care of that first, and then you want to channel EQ that, you want to compress it, just getting those S's that now are more outstanding in the mix. And then, only then, throw some pitch correction on it to make sure that your sounds, that your vocals are basically in tune with the song. Now, before we get to the bosses, I just wanted to remind you, man, that if you want me to take care of your vocals, you can contact me from the link in the description. We can work together. I give you my best offer because you're coming from YouTube and because you're a homie. So yeah, just go on the page, see if we can, if what I can offer is something that you can afford. forward and let's get the conversation privately. But if you want this vocal mix for free, it's something that I shared with the Patreon community last night. You get access to all my vocal mixing templates, not only my big ass mastering chain, everything that I do privately. You'll be on top of the game. We can become sincerely homies over on Patreon. So if you want to show your boy some love, that's the place you can do so. Now let's get to the buses. Now bus number one. Now we got everything done in the vocal. Now we gotta make sure that we give some character, boy, to your vocals. We're using some delay, some channel EQ, some choruses, and then on the second buses we just give some space design to it. I'm gonna walk you through what I got going on right here. I got this delay happening, and I got this channel EQ because you wanna always channel EQ your delay, and then some choruses just to soften it all up, because this is really heavy work, especially the delay, because the delay, what he's doing is just delaying your vocals. Now because on this one I'm really rapping, so I like to believe, you know what I'm saying, I needed to make sure that it was not mudding up the track, so this is why I put some channel EQ to it, and the choruses is just basically softening it all up. Okay, with the buses I'm just giving the vocal space in the mixer with the space designer, and to finish it all up I just put some dubs to it. It's basically a re-recording of the track once again, just getting the buses off. I will not use pitch correction on this one, but I'm applying the choruses to the main track just to soften it all up and just give it more character, more space in the mix. That's all I got so far. This is where it sounds all together. Thank you so much for watching. Jermaine, man, from Morocco. Thank you, man, from the bottom of my heart. This thing is really blowing up, it's really growing. So I really appreciate you for watching, for sticking around, for supporting me most of all on a weekly basis. And once again, man, you can show your love, you can show your boys some love, becoming a patron, getting access to all you see, you know, that I do on the channel with the vocal mixing stuff. With everything, you're going to be access to all my product work, my music coming out, how I do my things. We can really get product, we can really get homies of being, you know, in the family over there for Patreon. So thank you so much for watching. If you're still watching, man, and you're a recording artist, you gotta understand that you need your own business up, your own website. This video will definitely make sure that you take advantage of the whole internet machine, building your own internet business venture for your music, so you can share your music like the pros, you know what I'm saying, on your own website, besides streaming platforms, and pitch where you're supposed to pitch as a recording artist, which is merch, dog, which is merch. Alright, man, thanks so much for watching once again. Man, we're family, dog. Peace out. God bless you, sincerely. You're in my prayers. Yeah.